Hello there. Today I'll showcase how you can install Parrot OS in the VirtualBox. Follow the instructions with me. Parrot is a GNU/Linux distribution based on Debian and designed with security and privacy in mind. It includes a full portable laboratory for all kinds of cybersecurity operations, from penetration testing to digital forensics and reverse engineering. It also includes everything needed to develop your own software or keep your data secure. There are many ways to use Parrot OS. You can install it as your main operating system, or you can use it with dual boot. Installing it on the VirtualBox has its own advantages. It is way less tricky. I'm assuming that you have already enabled the platform support for virtual machines from the Windows Features menu. Now let's go ahead and install the VirtualBox. Download the latest installer package from here according to your host OS. We will also get the extension pack to make sure we don't face any errors later. I'm changing the installation path here, but you can go with default too. VirtualBox tries to add network adapters to your PC. Windows Security will try to protect you from this. Click Install to give VirtualBox this permission. The VirtualBox has been installed. This is the interface. Now let's install the extension pack. Now that the VirtualBox is set up, let's start the actual process. Go to the official Parrot OS website. Now go to the Downloads section. We'll get the security edition of Parrot OS. Here you have two options to select from. In Linux, there is no single desktop environment like Windows. You can choose any environment you like. I'm going with Mate here, but you can get any of them. Just click on any link and it will start to download the ISO file. It's pretty big in size. I have already downloaded it, so I'm going to cancel it. Here we have the ISO file of Parrot OS that we just downloaded. Now let's go and get it up and running on the VirtualBox. Click on this new button and select the installation directory for your virtual machine. Make sure it has at least 25 gigs of space. Name your VM, then select Linux in type and Debian 64-bit in version. Click Next. This is the RAM that your virtual machine will have. I'm giving it 4 GB of RAM, you can choose according to your resources. Note that you have to provide it minimum of 1 GB RAM. We'll keep this option as default and click Create. Click Next. Again Next. This is the storage your virtual machine will have. Here going with 15 GB was a mistake. You'll see why when we start the installation. I suggest to at least give it 20 to 25 GB storage. And we're done with the VirtualBox settings. Our Parrot OS is ready to be installed. But we won't start it just yet. We have some settings to change. Click on this Settings button. Go to the Advanced tab and select Bidirectional in both of these. This setting will allow you to share your clipboard between the host and the VM. Keep everything else as it is, and go to the System section. Go to the Processor tab, this shows the CPU cores your VM will be using. I'm going with 4, you can select according to your resources. Again, keep everything else as it is. Now go to the Display section and provide the maximum amount of video memory you have. This will make your experience using the VM smoother. Keep everything else as it is. And we're finally done with all the settings we had to do to get the Parrot OS started. Now let's start our virtual machine and have a first look. Before starting up, it will ask you for a startup disk. Here comes the part to use the big ISO file we had downloaded earlier. Click on Add and select the ISO file. Click Choose, and then Start. We want to install the Parrot OS. Select the first option. Note that your mouse won't work here. You have to use keyboard to navigate. Ignore these errors. Our Parrot OS is booting in. This will take some time. Right now it won't fit your screen resolution. This will be fixed by itself soon. And we're finally here. This is the Mate desktop environment we're using. It may look different if you chose the KDE environment from the website when downloading the ISO file. Now you can use it in full screen and it will readjust itself and change the resolution. Here you can find all the tools and accessories. You can read the license from here. And change the desktop background and appearance from here. Now we'll start the really time-consuming part. This time will depend on the resources you've provided to the VM. Double-click on this Install Parrot icon and you'll see this prompt. Let me quickly plug the power source and we're good to go. Okay, so now click Next. Select your time zone and click Next. For the keyboard model, select English, US, Default, and click Next. As you can see, there is the 15 GB space we provided to the VM earlier. Currently there's nothing in it. Select the first Erase Disk option to give the installer permission to use the whole 15 GB space to install the Parrot OS. We'll leave everything else as default. And click Next. Here, type your name and it will automatically suggest you the username and the name of the computer. Of course you can change it, I'm leaving it as it is. Select the password and confirm it. You will use this password to log into the system. So you need to remember that. And then click Next. And that's pretty much it. The summary section shows you all the information for the installation. After confirming everything, click Install. And click Install Now. This will start the installation process. This will take really long to install. By the way, I suggest to use the VM in full screen to have a better experience. Finally, it's over. Click Done and it will restart the system. Press Enter to select the first option. Note that now it says Parrot GNU instead of try/install. And we're here. Enter your password to log in. Here it shows the desktop environment we're using. We can even install other desktop environments and change them from here. Maybe we'll see that in other videos. Now that we've installed the OS, we can find all the tools and features ready to be used. Kali Linux is another famous alternative for Parrot, but here this tool called Airgeddon is not present in Kali by default. Both the OSs have their own benefits. You can check out all these tools later. The Parrot OS is completely installed. But we're not quite done yet. We have to update all the tools we just saw. The installation can only get you the basic tools without updating them. You'll have to update them manually. After installing any Linux distro, you have to update it. Open the terminal from the taskbar. With this sudo I command, we'll get ourselves the administrative privileges. Type password and press enter. It won't show your password on the screen because of the security reasons. See how the username changed from head_s to root? Now type apt update, and it will start updating all the repositories. You can change the look of the terminal. .333 packages can be updated. Now we will update them. To do that, we have two commands: apt upgrade and apt full upgrade. Using apt full upgrade, we can install the new updates, and we can also delete the older versions of the softwares that have been updated. So it is also beneficial with the storage aspect. Type Y and press enter to start the process. We've got all these errors, and these errors cannot be ignored like the others we did. But these are pretty common and can be solved easily. Just type the exact same command again and it will solve itself. Scroll down and press Q to exit. Here select the model of your keyboard. I will select English, US. This is the error I was talking about earlier. 15 GB space is not enough apparently. That is why I suggest to use at least 20 to 25 GB. It won't cause problems us right now, but later on we will have low storage to install other tools and stuff. I'm going to ignore it right now. And that's it. We're all done here. It's all up and ready. All tools have been updated to the latest versions. Like GNOME environment, the shutdown and restart options are not on the upper right corner. I use GNOME as my regular lab environment. In Mate, those options are found in the lower left corner, like Windows. After all the updates, I suggest to restart the VM once just to be sure. Here is your Parrot OS with all the security and pen testing tools loaded in. Go crazy. Next, I will probably make more videos on Parrot OS. And I'll show how you can install other OSs in VirtualBox too. I hope you guys understood the whole process. If you have any questions or have any errors showing up, come to the comment section, we'll discuss and solve the problem. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. It helps a lot. I hope you're doing well and I wish you all the best.